Hi, I'm Boyce, and in this video I'm going to be giving you a demo of the TCP Chat Room I made. So this project was for week 5 during coding school, and since I was still very green, just about every part of this project was completely new to me. We had about 3 to 4 days to work on it, so I spent the first full day and a half just researching and figuring out what in the world I needed to use to make a chat room. I had never used or even heard of many of the things that I needed to build it, such as sockets, TCP client, network stream, asynchronous programming, queues, dictionaries, DNS, and so on. So it was a pretty big learning curve at first. But this project was also really a turning point for me because in the earlier weeks, I had really had to ask for a lot more help. But I was determined for this project to do whatever it took to figure it out on my own and to teach myself what I needed to learn. And it was definitely hard, but it also ended up being really exciting and fun, and I learned a lot. So I'll go ahead and show it to you. All right, so I'm going to start by showing you the requirements we were given for this project, as well as a list of most of the technologies that I used for it. So the requirements for the project were users can chat with one another over the local network. There are 2 projects, one client side, one server side. Implement the observer design pattern to send out a notification to all users that a new person has joined the chat room. Implement dependency injection for logging, log all messages, log when someone joins the chat, log when someone leaves the chat. Use a dictionary to store users. Use a queue to store and process incoming messages. And then here I've listed most of the tools I used to build it, which I mentioned at the beginning of the video as well. So now I'll go ahead and fire it up and give you a demonstration. We'll open the server side first. And as you can see for this project, we just needed to use console applications. So now that we have the server up, I'll open up some chat clients. I'm going to open 3 of them. And 3. Perfect. So first it's asking for the access key, which we see displayed here to the administrator that's hosting this chat room. So for the client, we're going to put that here, enter, and welcome to the chat room. Please enter a username. Voice. Okay, I have joined the chat room. And you can see again here on the server side, all of this activity is going to be logged in the console as well. So back to the client, to send a message, simply type what you want to say, then press enter. So we'll go for a classic hello world. And there it is. But of course right now I'm only chatting with myself. So let me go ahead and add the other 2 users. Josh has joined the chat room. Okay, and we'll add Bob. Bob is in the house. So you can see this appearing on all the different chat screens. Josh says, "What's up?" to Bob. And Boyce is hungry. So that's pretty much it. You get the idea. And as you can imagine, me and my friends at school really had a good time with this project. It's quite fun. And just to clarify, I realize that all of these are on my computer, but anyone that is connected to the same local network as this server will be able to join the chat room. So now I'll go ahead and show you how I built it. So first off, we have the text logger here that's going to be created, and you're going to notice throughout the code the functions for the text logger that are going to be recording the activity from the chat room to a text file. And then we have the chat server that's going to be created, and then we're going to run the server. So first off, you may recall at the beginning, the administrator console displayed this message: the chat server access key is, and a number. And what that actually is the IP address of the host computer. So this method is going to be getting the IPv4 and returning that to be used as the access key. And that'll be used by the client to be able to connect to the host computer over the local network. So then we're going to start up our TCP listener. And then task.run will start a thread for listen for connections. And listen for connections is going to be running continuously. It's going to be looking to accept any pending connection requests. And when one is made, it's going to let us know that a new connection is made, and then that will take us to log username. So log username is going to start by sending a message to the new client saying, welcome to the chat room, please give me your username. And then it'll wait for a response and use that as a username. Then it'll add them to the client database with their username. And then it's going to announce the new user to the chat room. And this one's pretty straightforward. Essentially, it's just going to tell every client in the database that Bob has joined the chat room. So that's going to bring us back up here where a new thread specific to that client is going to listen for messages. Listen for messages is going to be a continually running loop that's always going to be waiting to receive a message from the client. And this may be a given, but receive message and send message are really the two backbones of the whole chat room. That's where the real nuts and bolts of the communication is done. So it's going to use network stream to connect to the client, and then it's going to make a byte array buffer that'll be used to store the information received from the client. And then finally, it's going to convert that buffer array into a string. So now that we have that message saved to a string, we're going to go right back up here where it's added to their username and saved as chat message. That's going to be added to the message queue. And if we go all the way back up to the top, we're going to see here this thread print queue that's been running continuously. So print queue, as long as there is a message in the queue, it's going to take the oldest one first and broadcast that, and then go through one by one until all of them have been displayed. And this will be running all the time. So broadcast message, as long as there is at least one client in the database, it's going to send that message to each client one by one. And again, that brings us to send message, which I showed you just a minute ago. That's where the magic happens. Essentially just functions just like receive message, but in reverse. So the client-side application basically just uses send message and receive message with a little bit different formatting and some additional exception handlers. But otherwise, just about everything else is taken care of here on the server side. And I realize that I've been moving up and down a lot. So if you want to look at this code in a little more detail, you can always check it out on my GitHub. Now in closing, I'll just show you the very simple process of leaving the chat room. All you do is close the application. And when you do that, it'll be logged on the server-side console, and all the other users will be notified that you've left as well. So now Bob's all alone. And he can still talk to himself, and anyone can still join the chat at any time. But for now, the host is ready to go, so he's going to shut down the server. And you can see when the server is closed, any connected clients will be notified that the connection has been lost and to close the application. So it was definitely fun while it lasted, but for now, Bob will just have to wait till next time. All right, that is an overview of my TCP chat room. So I appreciate your time. Feel free to check out some of my other projects and videos, but that's all for now. So thank you for watching.